next speaker is Dr. Dou Yulei. Dr. Dou Yulei is the Associate Professor at School of Economics and Management Communication, University of China, Beijing. He will be joining us online and he will speak on the topic President Xi Jinping, Concept of Dialogue Among Civilizations and Community with Shared Future. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Professor Dou Yulei from Communication University of China. In my presentation, there are three parts. The first is the concepts of the community with shared future. The second is the dialogue of civilization. And third is the global civilizations initiative. In today's world, facing a mixture of challenges, including a lingering pandemic, deteriorating global divide, and geopolitical tensions, Xi's words have been encouraging people from different civilizations to work together to find a way out and build a community with a shared future for mankind. President Xi first put forth with the notion of a community with a shared future for mankind in his 2015 speech at the Mexico State Institute of International Relations. He said, mankind, by living in the same global village within the same time and space, where history and reality meet, have increasingly emerged as a community of a common destiny, in which everyone has in himself a little bit of others. China has in the past years succeeded in embarking on a development path that suits itself by drawing on both the wisdom of its civilization and the practices of other countries in both East and West. In exploring this path, China refused to stay insensitive to the changing times or to blindly follow the others. Incorporating with China's experience and weather, building a community with a shared future for mankind is China's flagship vision to collectively address global challenges facing the world today. Pass on the torch of peace from the generation to generation, sustain development, and make civilization flourish. This is what people of all countries long for. It is also the responsibility statement of our generation out to shoulder. And China's proposition is build a community of shared future for mankind and achieve shared and win-win development. That's a speech on January 18, 2019. President Xi also said we will continue to champion cooperation over confrontation, to open up rather than closing our doors, and to focus on mutual benefits instead of zero-sum games. We will oppose hegemony and power politics. We must continue working to promote the building of a human community with a shared future. The party cares about the future of humanity and wishes to move forward in tandem with all progressive forces around the world. China has always worked to safeguard world peace, contribute to global development, and preserve international order. Look at this picture. China has fulfilled its solemn commitment to making big science a global public good. Notwithstanding the unlimited production capacity and enormous demand at home, China has honored its commitment by providing more than $350 million of big science to the international community, including big science assistance to over 8 countries and big science export to 40+ countries, making great contribution to narrowing the immunization game. The concept was first adopted into an official union document on February 10, 2017 as the 45th session of the Union Commission for Social Development, and it was also enshrined by the Union Security Council, the Human Rights Council, and the first committee of the Union General Assembly, the Qingdao Declaration of the Council of Heads of Member States of Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation Beijing Action Plan, turning the Chinese concept into an international consensus. Now let's talk about the dialogue of civilizations, a new perspective on international relations. It is close to 3 decades since the American politics scientist Samuel Huntington put forward the thesis of the clash of the civilization. He prophesied that in the future evolution of the history of humanity, the central axis of world politics would be shaped by the conflict between Western and non-Western civilization. Coming in the wake of the end of the Cold War and the disintegration of the Soviet Union, which the West was celebrating as its victory, the subtext of Huntington's arguments was that the Western civilization is superior to others and hence would emerge triumphant in the clash. The concept of the clash of the civilization has since been countered by many intellectuals and public figures around the world. In recent years, no world leader has been advocating the imperative need for inter-civilizational dialogue for global peace and common prosperity more vigorously and consistently than Chinese President Xi. He said, all civilizations are equal, and such equality has made exchange and mutual learning among civilizations possible. He also said on the Asian civilizations, diversity spurs interaction among civilizations, which in turn promotes mutual learning and their further development. We need to promote exchange and mutual learning among countries, nations, and natures around the world, and strengthen popular support for jointly building a community with a shared future for both Asia and humanity as a whole. On the dialogue of the civilization in Asia, there are 4 advocations. First, we need to respect each other's and treat each other as equals. Second, we need to uphold the beauty of each civilization and the diversity of the civilization in the world. Third, we need to stay open and inclusive and draw on each other's strengths. First, we need to advance with the times, explore new ground in development. On the conference, there are also 4 kinds of achievements. Firstly, release of the 2019 Beijing Conference of the Conference of Dialogue of Asian Civilization. Second, the launch of cooperation initiatives. Third, signing of relevant agreement and the release of many study reports were announced. Now is the third part, the Global Civilization Initiative. Xi Jinping, General Secretary of the Communist Party of China Central Committee, proposed the Global Civilization Initiative and called on world political parties to closely integrate their own development with their national modernization drives, so as to continuously steer the course and marshal strengths of modernization. He also says the CPC will continue to safeguard international fairness and justice and promote world peace and stability. Tolerance, coexistence, exchange, and mutual learning among different civilizations play an irreplaceable role in advancing humanity's modernization process and making the garden of world civilization flourish. As the future of world countries is closely connected nowadays, she said. Under the initiative, she called for the respect for diversity of civilizations, advocating the common values of humanity, highly valuing the inherence and innovation of civilizations, and jointly advocating robust international people-to-people exchange and cooperation. In terms of the diversity of the civilization, she stressed countries need to uphold the principles of equality, mutual learning, dialogue, and inclusiveness among civilizations, and let cultural exchange transcend exchangement, neutral learning transcend clashes, and coexistence transcend feeling of superiority. He also stressing the importance of common values of humanity. She said peace, development, equity, justice, democracy, and freedom are the common aspirations of all people. Countries need to keep an open mind in appreciating the perception of values by different civilizations and refrain from imposing their own values or models on others and from stoking ideological confrontation. He said that the inheritance and innovation of civilizations should be highly valued, and countries need to fully harness the relevance of their histories and cultures to the present times, and push for the creative transformation and innovative development of their fine traditional cultures. That's all. Thanks.